You know what I was wondering about the other day? Because like I was thinking about because I've heard a lot of people that like classic Star Trek like really don't like the more current Star Trek stuff.
Right.
And a part of me was wondering like, is it possible that there was more good sci-fi like back in the '60s because there was more like civil and unrest and social issues that you could speak to in sci-fi. It was more interesting because like
I felt like in that day and time, it definitely you did. There was a lot more of the kind of tackling social issues through sci-fi, which is kind of interesting.
well yeah, you think about it, like the reason Star Trek was so kind of groundbreaking back then is because like they would talk about things like racism, and they had the first interracial kiss,
Right.
and but I feel like now, because our society is basically pretty fucking accepting, that
It's not
there's not as much to really
like if
talk about.
right. You're not cutting edge anymore.
Yeah, because like I watched the first several seasons of Star Trek Discovery, and it's fine. But like, for example, they had this trans character on there, and they had the whole thing where like the character wanted to be referred to by the them pronoun
Right.
or whatever. But I'm like,
Which
that,
I do hate the plural.
it sounds weird grammatically, yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, I guess it's fine to talk about that, but I'm like, if Star Trek takes place like, hundreds of years in the future, like, they wouldn't give a fuck about this for a long time.
Right.
Like, and like, and the thing is even if you like made an alien race to, as an analog to talk about the trans stuff, like, still, like, even though there is transphobia in our society, like it's not as rampant, I don't think, as like you would maybe think from like social media and things. Like I think as we're pretty accepting, and so like I don't know, like I was kind of wondering, like, well, maybe it was the sci-fi in the '60s and stuff was more interesting just because they had more things to talk about.
I mean, I think that is interesting. I think if you look at today, maybe if you look at something like South Park, they tackle a lot of social issues, and it's a very different medium. But it's it does give a freshness. I feel like.